On the night of August 18, 1944, Paris lies cloaked in moonlight, its streets silent under a strict curfew. The distant rumble of artillery grows louder daily, a grim reminder of encroaching war. German patrols tread heavily through the empty boulevards, their boots echoing in the narrow alleys. Yet, amidst this danger, a small French family navigates the shadows. The mother cradles her newborn, while her husband and son carry blackout curtains to shield their home. One wrong move could spell doom, but the father, with steady confidence, leads them through the city's winding back streets. As they approach a final turn, the son stumbles on a loose cobblestone, and the family halts, hearts pounding, knowing they have seconds to act. The mother quickly steadies her son, and they flee deeper into the occupied city's labyrinth. Music, I'm Griffin Johnson, the Armchair Historian, and today we'll explore the lives of French citizens after their nation's surrender in World War II, focusing on the daily struggles under a regime that saw France as a mere resource for its war machine. Before diving in, let's discuss our sponsor, World of Tanks, a free-to-play action MMO where players command over 600 historically accurate vehicles from 11 nations. From iconic tanks like the M4 Sherman and Tiger to rare designs like the Maus or T-95 Super Heavy Tank Destroyer, history enthusiasts will find plenty to explore, with over 40 unique maps supporting varied playstyles. From long-range sniping to close-quarters brawling and 5 vehicle classes, World of Tanks offers tactical depth for squad-based or clan-wide battles. Armchair Historian fans can claim a special offer: 7 days of premium account time, a free Tier 5 premium tank, and more by using the invite code Once Upon a Tank via the link below. Following France's surrender on June 22, 1940, the nation was split. The North under direct German control, the South governed by a puppet regime led by Marshal Philippe Pétain, as the Germans lacked resources to rule all of France. Italy, an ally in Hitler's conquest, received a small occupied zone as a reward. A shadow fell over France, literally, as clocks were set forward an hour, darkening mornings and hastening nightfall. This was the first of many oppressive rules. Owning firearms, aiding escaped prisoners, or listening to non-German radio became illegal. Most crucially, the armistice banned hostility to our occupiers, giving them free rein. Paris was soon flooded with German soldiers on leave, its grand hotels seized as Reich headquarters. The fixed exchange rate of 20 francs to 1 Reichsmark let even low-ranking soldiers hoard luxuries like cheese and wine. Officers, far from exemplary, requisitioned vast supplies, sending daily trains laden with luxury goods, exotic foods, and priceless art back to Germany. The French resented this plunder, but worse awaited. A nationwide curfew from midnight to 6 a.m., tightened repeatedly to quell defiance, became a tool to subdue the populace. Yet greater hardships loomed as the occupation tightened its grip. As World War II wore on and Nazi resources dwindled, occupied territories like France faced escalating demands. Luxury goods gave way to a relentless extraction of essentials: wax, metal, textiles, leather, and more, stripping the nation bare. This ushered in the dreaded ration card, with rationing starting harsh and growing grimmer. By 1941, adult caloric intake fell from 2,400 to 1,200 to 1,500 calories daily compared to 2,000 for Germans. The black market thrived, with citizens selling hoarded goods at exorbitant prices. Farmers risked fines or jail but could earn 30 times official rates, leading to barter systems between cities and villages to ease the strain. These measures helped the French survive, but many were refugees displaced by invasion and division. With 2 million soldiers held captive, communities became ghost towns and Paris' population dropped from 3 million to 800,000. Families were torn apart by an armistice clause freeing Germany from releasing prisoners who became hostages to coerce French labor. As German conscription rose, the Axis needed foreign workers. Early propaganda showing happy French laborers in German factories failed, so in March 1942, Hitler named Fritz Sockel general plenipotentiary for labor deployment, dubbed the Slaver of Europe. His first program, the Relief, partnered with Vichy. For every 3 French workers sent to Germany, 1 prisoner would be freed. Vichy hailed this as a patriotic sacrifice, but despite 250,000 volunteers by late 1942, it fell short. In February 1943, Sockel forced Vichy to enact the Service du Travail Obligatoire (STO), mandating all healthy men aged 18 to 50 and single women aged 21 to 35 to work as needed. This slave labor program was the breaking point. The French, having endured starvation and displacement, joined the resistance in droves, many fleeing to the countryside as maquis, named for the rugged terrain ideal for guerrilla warfare. Rural areas became battlegrounds with no neutrality possible. From 1940, German policy punished resistance by executing families. By 1944, this escalated to indiscriminate massacres, leaving mass graves and deserted villages. The SS and Gestapo were brutal, but the milices, French collaborators, were insidious, drawn by better rations or S2 exemptions. Some were pre-war fascists, others opportunists, but their torture-fueled intelligence led to countless atrocities. Yet retribution awaited. In June 1944, the Normandy landings, bolstered by resistance efforts to isolate German forces, shattered Nazi control. Operation Dragoon in July forced a southern retreat. In Paris, the resistance, starting with fewer than 100 guns, seized German weapons including tanks amid chaos. When news reached the Allies, a Free French division rushed to the capital and the Nazi governor surrendered. The aftermath of liberation was grim. Estimates suggest around 10,000 French collaborators faced vigilant execution during the war, followed by their legal purge trials. Ironically, those escaping mob justice were interned in Vichy-built concentration camps. Allied bombings had ravaged France's infrastructure, and 150,000 civilians perished during the occupation, including 30,000 executed by Germans for crimes and 60,000 resistance fighters. The occupation's toll was staggering, but the French spirit endured through defiance and survival. The curfew, rationing, and forced labor had tested their resolve, yet the resistance's growth, spurred by the STO, proved pivotal. Rural Maquis fighters, hiding in rough terrain, disrupted German operations, while urban resistance in Paris transformed chaos into victory. The milices' betrayal, driven by greed or ideology, left a stain, but their punishment was swift. France's liberation, catalyzed by Allied invasions and internal rebellion, marked a turning point, though the cost was immense. Rebuilding a shattered nation, both physically and socially, lay ahead, but the resilience of its people shone through the darkest years.